everybody knows that the Detroit Lions still need a pass rusher. And no matter how you cook it, we still need one. Marcus Davenport is unreliable. We know what he can be if he's on the field. We haven't seen it ever as a Detroit Lion, and he's coming off 2 season-ending surgeries. We drafted a guy in the 6th round, got all the motor, all the potential in the world. To me, needs to develop, is raw, but he's got potential. Could be the next big thing. He's got all the makings of somebody that could get a fat payday in their second contract. But we're not there yet. But where we are is waiting on the Detroit Lions and Za'Darius Smith to reconnect. Brad Holmes was on Interview by 97 Won the Ticket, and they are at camp. I don't know if they're camp, like one of the shows are at camp, and they actually interviewed him with the grainy footage and everything. And he talked about Zadarius Smith. Now, I'll probably make a video about this on Lion Syndicate where I bring in the actual clip of the interview, but he claimed that him and Zadarius' team are still in contract, and it basically takes 2 to tango. He also alluded to it could be that Zadarius just wants to not report to camp, and maybe that there's been some dialogue about that. So my question is, and it would really be more if you could hear the interview, if I was bringing in the interview. But the question that I have for you guys is, do you think Zadarius Smith is going to return to Detroit? I don't know. At this point, I would love it. If Zadarius Smith came to Detroit, then you would have to assume that he's going to back up Hutch and Davenport. He's going to be a backup player until that Davenport goes down, if that happens. So do you think that it's going to happen? Brad Holmes need to stop playing games and sign Za'Darius now. Now he's going to sign 6 more QBs. Whole defense is going to be CBs. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I would love to see Zadarius back in Honolulu Blue. I would love to see him and Hutch on the field at the same time. But Brad is so you can't really tell what's happening. To me, it sounds like there is some truth to Zadarius not wanting to report to camp, but there's also, it seems like that they're not at the same place, because in that same interview, Brad Holmes mentioned being on the same page, so to speak, being at the same place, and that they're trying to get there. Like they're not there. And I don't think that that's about camp. I think it's about money. Now, Matthew Judon is out there. According to Spot Track, his market value is about 3.9, I believe it is, you could sign him to a 2-year deal for almost $4 million a year. That is significantly cheaper than the 1-year deal you're going to get from Zadarius. So I would love to sign Zadarius to a multi-year deal, because Marcus Davenport is only under a 1-year deal. And I saw an article, I'm going to see if I can find it, about a particular player who plays on the defensive line that could be a surprise cut. So I don't know how I feel about, of course I want him back because I want to see what happens, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. I think it's a respect thing, says Nephew. I think Zadarius felt disrespected, so he's just being petty with Brad. StatPass says, give it a go with those 2, and both are fast off the edge. I think you're right, man. I think that you are right, because from a person that's part of the family actually contacted me a couple months ago and told me that's exactly what it was. That once they paid Davenport, that created a kind of a rift, because Davenport was not deserving to be re-signed, at least not before Zadarius Smith. So I think it's all about it. And that's men. I mean, the ladies know too, but men are really high on respect. Respect can go a long way. And I would feel disrespected too. But I made a video saying exactly that. That it was probably disrespect before I even found out it was. So Zadarius, whether or not he comes back to the Detroit Lions, I think he is trying to avoid training camp for the most part. And if he does come back to Detroit, that'll be great, because he already knows pretty much, he's a vet, been in the league for 10 plus years. So him adapting to Kelvin Shepard, his new scheme wouldn't be a big deal. You've been on the Browns, the Vikings, the Packers, the Ravens. So you've been around the league. So it wouldn't be hard for him to adjust to whatever Kelvin is going to throw his way. Why does he care what another man get? Okay, Ken. Let's say that's I don't know where that question is coming from. It's not okay. So let me ask you this. Comment section. You're at your job, right? And you get, okay, let me paint the picture for you and put it in the comment section below. All right, let me see if I can off the dome metaphor this thing. You are a great worker. You are but you work at another office. Your boss comes and tells you that you have to relocate. You got to go to this store over here because this same company, but the store is struggling. So we're going to send you to this store because they're down and you're the best at what you do. You're available. I'm going to send you to the store. You go to the new store, right? The employee that you're replacing, they call in sick all the time. They never at work. And when they show, they barely put forth any effort, right? So then at that new store, your sales is crazy. You putting in mad work. You second best in the whole team. The whole store, you second best. And then they come around, the boss that asked you to come over there, that put in a request for your talents, tells you, you know what? You making a little too much money. You're doing a great job, but you're making too much money. So we got to let you go. But what we're going to do is the person that put us in the hole in the first place, we're going to ask them to come back because they cost less money. But you're the better employee, but they cost more money. We got to let you go. We knew how much you cost when we brought you over here. So he not worried about what another man get. He's saying, think about his perspective. And tell me in the comment section how you would feel if this were you. You are traded for knowing what your contract is, that you had another year and how much that other year was going to cost. You came in, you actually produced for the team that traded for you, knowing what your contract was. And what they do is they prioritize signing the dude that got hurt and cutting you for him. I don't know why that's so difficult. I don't know if that's so, you know what I'm saying? Let me know if that makes sense. So it's not that Zadarius is worried about what another man get. He's looking at from the respect issue. There was no conversations had. There was, I mean, you claim that it's a business and that Z understands it, but not so you didn't cut him, ask him to restructure, bring him back. You cut him and signed a guy that didn't even play last season, barely played. So if I'm, like I said in the video that I made many, many months ago, if I'm Za'Darius Smith, I'm not coming back here unless it meets all of my needs. That's the only way I step foot. Not after you cut me. You traded for me. You cut me. Wait, you traded for me. I ball out. I get 4 sacks. Za'Darius Smith led the team in sacks after the trade deadline. And you cut him for a dude that played 2 games. You wouldn't be mad at that? Let me know your thoughts, man.